July 22nd, 2023, Seattle, Washington. A low rumble begins to shake the ground. It's not an earthquake in the geological sense. It's something else.
Inside Lumen Field, 72,000 people are jumping, dancing, and screaming in perfect unison. Seismologists would later confirm that the collective energy of Taylor Swift's fans, the Swifties, generated seismic activity equivalent to a 2.3 magnitude earthquake, an event they dubbed the Swiftquake. Welcome to Cape Capital, your economic superhero, where we decode the hidden economic concepts of our world. This tremor was more powerful than the city's famous 2011 Beastquake, triggered by an NFL touchdown in the very same stadium.
Now, if that is the physical impact of 70,000 people releasing their energy in one place, what is the financial impact? Because that tremor isn't just a fun fact. It's a perfect, tangible metaphor for the economic earthquake that follows Taylor Swift wherever she goes. It's the sound of a force of nature that's reshaping city budgets, reviving entire industries, and teaching us more about economics. This is Swiftonomics, and it all starts with one of the most fundamental laws of the universe. You can't always get what you want. To understand the economic supernova that is the Era store, you have to start with the simplest concept in economics: supply and demand.
The supply of Eras 2 tickets is brutally mathematically finite. It is fixed, or what economists call inelastic. It's the number of seats in a stadium multiplied by the number of shows. The demand, however, is off the charts. It's been described as voracious and astronomical. For her shows in Singapore, the virtual queue for tickets topped 22 million people. That's nearly 4 times the entire population of the country.
This imbalance doesn't just create a price increase, it creates a black hole of value, sucking in money from across the globe. The face value of a ticket might be around $250, but on the secondary market, the average resale price skyrockets to nearly $4,000. Some tickets have been listed for an unbelievable $20,000. Simple arbitrage doesn't fully explain the madness. Real story is deeper, rooted not in rational economics but in human psychology. Economists have a concept for this: the endowment effect. It's a cognitive bias where we overvalue things simply because we own them. Here's how it works.
You, a Swiftie, managed to get a verified fan ticket for $250. Someone offers you $1,500 for it. A purely rational person might take the deal, but you don't, because it's your ticket. The experience feels more valuable than the cash. When this irrational behavior is multiplied across millions of fans, 95% of whom don't resell their tickets, it creates an artificial chokehold on the resale supply. The potential pool of available tickets shrinks dramatically, not because of market forces, but because of emotion.
This psychological quirk is the hidden engine driving those 5-figure resale prices. It's a feedback loop where our own sense of ownership amplifies the scarcity to unimaginable levels. This scarcity has birthed an entire parallel economy.
Take the friendship bracelets. Inspired by a lyric, fans began trading handmade bracelets at shows. It created a micro boom, generating over $3 million in Etsy sales in 2023 and causing bead shortages in some cities. At the same time, fan entrepreneurs through online boutiques and Etsy began offering higher quality fan designed apparel, with some shops reporting a 40% year-over-year increase in sales.
When you add all of this up, the tickets, the travel, the hotel, the bracelets, the gemmed outfits, the numbers become staggering. This isn't just a concert tour. It's a global economic stimulus event.
In the US, the tour's total economic impact is estimated to exceed $10 billion, contributing $4.3 billion directly to the nation's GDP. In the UK, the tour is projected to inject nearly £1 billion into the economy, with London alone expecting a £300 million boost.
But the most fascinating case study is Singapore. The government there did something unprecedented. They paid Taylor Swift a grant in exchange for making Singapore her only stop in Southeast Asia. They didn't treat her as an entertainer. They treated her as a strategic economic asset, and the return on investment was spectacular. The deal sparked a tourism explosion, with bookings for attractions and tours skyrocketing by over 2,300%, ultimately adding up to half a percentage point to the country's first quarter GDP. This is a new playbook for the experience economy, where governments are now bidding for pop stars, not just the Olympics. This T-Swift lift was a lifeline for industries still reeling from the pandemic.
In Philadelphia, hotels reported their strongest month since 2020 began, thanks to Swift's concerts. Across the country, occupancy rates in host cities hit 95%, sending revenue per available room through the roof.
But the true power of Swiftonomics isn't just in the initial spending. It's in the ripple effect that follows. It's a concept economists call the multiplier effect.
Think of it this way. A fan spends $1,300 on their concert weekend. That money doesn't just stop at the hotel and the restaurant. The restaurant uses it to buy produce from a local farmer. The staff member and the farmer then go out and spend that new income elsewhere in the community.
The first injection of cash gets spent and respent again, amplifying its total impact. We can even calculate it.
The formula is multiplier equals 1 divided by 1 minus MPC. MPC, or the marginal propensity to consume, is just a fancy term for the percentage of new income people spend instead of save. In the service industry, the MPC is high. Let's be conservative and say it's 0.7, meaning 70 cents of every new dollar is respent. That gives us a multiplier of 3.33. This means that initial $1,300 from a single fan could generate up to $4,329 in total economic activity for the host city. A huge chunk of Eras tour spending goes directly to local small businesses. The independent craft store selling beads, the local boutique selling sequin dresses, the family-owned restaurant hosting a pre-show dinner. These businesses respend their earnings locally. The money circulates more times within the community before it leaks out, creating a large, powerful, and inclusive economic ripple.
Now there is a counter-argument. Some economists will tell you that Swiftonomics isn't entirely real. They argue that this isn't new money being created out of thin air. It's a reallocation of existing money. This is the concept of opportunity cost. The fan who spends $1,300 on the Eras tour experience now doesn't have that $1,300 to spend on a new phone, a different holiday, or a down payment on a car. The economic pie doesn't get bigger. A slice is just moved from the tech industry's plate to the hospitality industry's plate. On a national macroeconomic level, this argument holds a lot of water, but it misses the most crucial point. The true economic power of Swiftonomics isn't about creating wealth. It's about commanding the logistics of capital.
Think about it. Post-pandemic, many downtown core and service industries were struggling.
Consumer spending was diffuse, spread out across online shopping and savings accounts. Swiftonomics acts like a massive logistical operation, gathering billions of dollars of that diffuse spending and concentrating it with laser-like precision on a specific geographic location at a specific time. For a city like Chicago or Los Angeles, this targeted, predictable, and massive injection of capital is a game changer.
It fills hotels that would have been empty. It saves restaurants that were on the brink. It creates a surge of thousands of temporary jobs and fills city tax coffers.
This is an intervention that can be strategically deployed to revitalize a local economy. Its power is in its precision. It's an economic earthquake, but one you can see coming. And for cities around the world, it's a tremor they're desperate to feel. But the Era Store is just one chapter in the Swiftonomics saga. In part 2, we will dive into the economics of the Swift-Kelsey merger and what it means when a love story becomes a market-moving event. If you love seeing the world through an economic lens, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more stories. Stay tuned for what's coming next.